Hi, um, my name's Tim, still, and it is the 24th of May, a wonderful Sunday, down in my woods, and well, if I have to suddenly jump out the way, if it suddenly stops, it's because a tree or a bit of a tree has fallen on me, because they're quite struggling. And this winter, I guess the winds, there's loads of toppled trees that need to be done something with. And so it's good though, because it means my favourite bench is completely hidden from the tourist trail, if you will, the cliff walk here, which is a whole race going on. A kind of, it's all loads of people, but I'm all hidden by fallen trees. And the couple next to me are looking well dodgy. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about trees, even though maybe I should be. A perfectly good subject. But I'm here. Oh, so many reasons. Partly just bored. Bored of not talking. Yeah, I said before it was a lifeline to me. For me. And it did become that. And then there's this sort of this alignment is not about performance necessarily for me. You know, I don't know what else might be for other people. But it's a frequency. Energy. And I've committed to that a long time ago. Like I said, getting a bit bored in some ways. Last month, I mean, I want to get back to, I was thinking, there's various things I want to say. First, a little bit of a theme that I will attempt to come back to is the pattern of peace. Something that's come to me over months and years, especially these months. That it just becomes visible to me. That there is a pattern that I have experienced, I do experience, and I pray, and if I am correct now, then I am attempting and hopefully will be in that pattern of peace for myself and any invisible people that may or may not be watching at whichever point in time. Because it's about alignment, something I've recognised more and more. That blanket of love is there. I've talked about it, I'm recognising it. And I didn't give it to the wild bird, I recognised it. Something she was already well aware of, and I hope in any way I enhanced it for her. But that blanket of love is there and available, constant. And the pattern of peace is our individual alignment with it. There are times, surely everyone has experienced it and will, and just keep going, find it. It's in those moments of appreciation, of simplicity, of for me going within, as, the gift that just keeps giving. And that is the principal pattern for me, but then through that there's these moments in life that stack up and moments joined together in service that stand out as, for me, without doubt, Now that is the pattern of peace, of my peace, of the thread that I am perfectly capable of aligning with, as we all are. So I want to come back to that, the pattern of peace, and then, well, I forgot what else I wanted to say. That stands out throughout my life, and quite particularly in alignment with my teacher. That for me is the pattern of peace. But then he would very clearly point back to myself, the perfect teacher. And that alignment for me is, in a sense, the ultimate. And yet he's teaching me, it's like, well, as always, everything you're looking for is within you. And so I take from that that's where the pattern of peace lives. That's where the pattern of peace comes from. And he all his life has shown that. And we have glimpses, we might get inspired for a minute. We gravitate to people that inspire us, the ideas, some to religion, some to philosophy, some to themselves, some to this, some flit around like butterflies, It's all in the same search. If you're lucky. And I want to use today to bring myself back into this dream, this evolution, dare I say it, that is entirely the backdrop. That as a human race, there have been movements and groups and individuals searching within this world at times for that element of clarity, for that understanding, that consciousness, capable of aligning incredible cosmic and infinite truths with a very grounded earthly reality, to simply aid, to act as some sort of catalyst or connection. I dream so long dreamt. Anyway, I was re-listening. Like I say, that was the other thing I wanted to say. I want to get it back to a real bit of playful nature, just like normal. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and continuing that, right or wrong. I look back now. I was just looking at one of a year, April 27th, I remember, and it was just up in these trees behind me because some bugger was on my bench, so I had to climb into the undergrowth to do it. And I was looking at that and thinking, it's like, well, is that within this pattern of peace that I talking about, profess to exist. And it was, oh yeah, I got halfway through. And over these last days, I was just listening to one or two more, and it's like, well, look, you've come so far in so many ways. And still, the lack, the limitation. I mean, I told you some stories of my last month which make you laugh. Yeah, oh, it was funny. And then some mates came over, really good mates from Millbrook, for some ashes. I had a mate died recently, a few months ago. And we did an ashes ceremony for him, Jeff. And so Frodo, JR and Jay came over, and Jen. So right group we were, and this was last weekend. And the day I first seen him, sort of met up with him somewhere, and they're like, so what's been happening to him? And it was only after a sort of, I don't know, a week or so after a bit of a story I had in a certain city in Spain. And it was so funny because they were saying, so how was it? And the buggers, they'd already, my entire village had already heard what had happened. And it was so funny and so like I say, I'll keep it quiet. But needless to say, it was a bit of a mess. I'm not good at big cities, I tell you. I'm much better in little woods like this. I just get lost and a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. But it was so funny, my experience. And then for my mates to just be like questioning me and then already knowing the punchline, it was hilarious. And it made me feel a connection in a sort of like, oh, you buggers kind of way. It was brilliant. Anyway, like I say, back to that. A closeness. A kind of like, well, if anything I've experienced is ever going to manifest or is true or any of that, then I've already said there has to be that. That without that normalcy, there's no balance. Without that essential closeness, there's no balance. Or we'll play it like this, and it truly is. No, it's each. You're an island unto yourself, and we meet purely in other realms. If that's to be the case, I'll just carry on doing this because I need something to sort of ground something so incredible, so transformative, and so meant to be shared by its very nature. And yet, in a way that through history has been proven needs to either be done in riddles or I don't know. Because there's so much against a basic understanding of human nature. So that is what I am trying to talk to and to bring myself back to. And what my teacher brings me back to. But it is so simple. And it is in the repeat of that simple that those moments stack up. And there is a pattern. We're all threaded into that blanket of love, like it or not. there's a poem. And I went back in it. And I've been in it. Loads this last, oh my goodness. But purely, well, to say it hasn't manifested, it has. I won't go into it, but my my desired direction, my intuitive direction, has in a sense been gifted to me, showed to me, made clearer to me. And I have made my little bit of effort and received the most beautiful experiences. But to not express that feels now like a blockage. That if I don't express it, there's that funny little delay. It's that funny little pause. And I want to unpause it, because like I said, I'm bored. So if in any way this will open that connection once again to some of my invisible friends, then I will take that initiative, I will take that action. So like I said, I'm not as daft as I look. When I find something that works, I stick at it. Without getting stuck in a rut, you see. So today's one is everyone in and wild bird out. She's gone. Yeah, she's out. So everyone in, because to be honest, this game is going on a long time. Hiya. My name's Tim. And this isn't everyone in. How you doing? I'm in a sunny spot here. I might get a bit of a shade in a minute. It's a little bit doing in the light. Well, I'm sat here. And I experiences this morning somehow. I was like, no, that's it. That's enough already. I'm making an effort here. I'm putting into action what is fizzing and bubbling in me all the time. That I honestly I don't feel I distract myself with noise. I guess I have trouble lately kind of staying out of it or something. And one thing or another, these last couple of days, has just been a chance to just, which I haven't had for quite a while, it seems. As much as I've felt more peace, in a sense, than ever. Oh, it isn't to do with what's going on in my life. It's not. It's something else. A thing that catches me. A thing that resets me, that renews me. So anyway, everyone's in and wild birds out. Why? Because honestly, you lot, this is bizarre. And I guess I'll flip it on you in a minute, and I'll just be talking to the wild bird. But I'd like a minute to just go, well, here I am. I'm like this. I'm rough at the moment. I got into just leaving a beard, pure laziness. And then it grows out, it's all grey, and I'm like, oh, come on, you look, go to my barber's, and he takes 10 years off me. It's brilliant. So, I am who I am. My name is Tim Gomez. I'm quite I would say, a simple guy, not in the intelligence way, but I'm simple. Ask my mates. Easy to be with. And if we don't approach this everyone in scene, then I'm just gonna float off on my wild bird whispers, because they work. I don't even have to post them. I don't need to do this for my wild bird whispers to work. I have found out. It is in those moments of alignment with something we share. Simple as that. I've known it all along. And yet, can't find that door. Can't find that focus. And maybe I'm trying now. I mean, the freedom that I feel sometimes is so immense that it is impossible, obviously, to talk about it anyone so far in my world. I can have little chats like my mates that come over, one or two of them. Anyway, everyone in, remember. And there's a pattern of peace, remember. And to bring everyone in. Some of you might not want to get too comfortable, to be honest. And yet you may be sat in the front rows for this. I don't know how to help you or approach you, if I even need to. This is about talking about a subject that has always been there and yet has been misaligned and hidden. Forever. A subject that I pray is becoming more, normalised. I guess that would help. Not that it's ever going to be normal. Because it is about recognising a higher level of us, our higher selves, an essential component to consciousness in this new world. I'm not giving up. Energy flow in this new world. If I am in a pattern of peace, then my energy it's got all the good attributes. If a tree branch falls on me now, I'm stopping, but if I'm in that pattern of peace, then my energy now, hopefully a little hit through the day, a little residue, and certainly within me, within my intentions, within my vontade in Portuguese. Different from desire. It's a vontade. Holds all those positive attributes of a person walking in alignment. If you have those other attributes, then it is just clear. There is a pattern, and it manifests through time, through action, through everything, through life. And I'm sorry, that's where some people, I don't know what'll happen. But I want to profess not to want to fight you on this table because you couldn't even find it. No, on this table, in this room, shall we say. Dude, I'm not here to fight your minds. That what I'm attempting in my funky little way to get through a unity that we share. That only our minds will fight, our concepts, ideas, our egos. They may well fight, and some of you, well, I'd say there's a percentage that will fight me for the rest of your lives. I don't know that percentage. I would be scared to think, if it was 99%, I still say this light is strong enough. But I really hope it isn't, because I'll feel that. Because then I will be tucked away, won't I? There's a percentage that will fight me, and I could help you so much. And that's what I'm saying. On this table, I'm not here to fight you. I could make that easy for you, but I don't into therapy and listen to a bit of Carl Jung. What can I say to you apart from there is more? And if you fight me with your mind, that's not a bad reflection on you, and shouldn't be a bad reflection on me. It is just a part of this process that I can honestly don't know how, but I honestly think I can help. And whoever. But you also have to remember that I'm the children's champion. And the energy I have, as much as I'd love to think it's unlimited, I will be gone. There is a time span in this timelessness. And so I don't want to waste energy. I want to talk to people that want to, in a sense, listen and interact, and human beings. I want to talk to human beings, not human has-beens or human would-be's. Human beings, the ones that understand when I say close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, and say thank you, that's alignment. Because those people I know I can help. The others, I might just be the cause of shitload of confusion. I don't know, it's your problem. And again, I'm not being mean. I'm putting it on the table here. So everyone, a few might have walked out by now. And to be honest, that's fine. We can whittle this audience down. That's not what I want to do, but it might be what I have to do. Because alignment, again, can be destroyed in a second with distraction, with stupidity, with ignorance, with darkness. It can be. That alignment can be gone. And that, to me, that's a fight that's a waste of time in a lot of cases, because when that focus is there with any group in that way, alignment is natural and it should be protected. It shouldn't be so easily hijacked. Everyone in. Enjoying your year? I kind of am. Muddling around, getting through. You know, I struggle with, surprisingly, I mean, I've always done so well health-wise, you know, and these last couple of years, bloody hell. And it was inevitable. Does it stop me? It scares me at times. I mean, I feel challenged in ways I didn't expect. You know, I've always prided myself on my physical, in a sense, strength, and could walk 20 kilometers anytime, day or night, without a second's thought. And that is not the case anymore. That scares the shit out of me, man. Teeth all falling out. I can't afford dentist. I keep hitting myself, my hands, in an absolute state at the moment. Keep banging them and the cuts ain't doing well, and dusting them, and I have fear. I experience lack. I search for alignment, and I find it every day within myself. If that grace is with me. I dream of it manifesting, and will continue to do so. And we'll continue to pray for it, like that inner alignment. I've found it just, it affects me in my day. And then I feel the lack of it sometimes. I mean, oh my goodness, one night, in this city in Spain, on my adventure, when I still had a hostel to stay in. And the hostel was all right. This bed, you don't get rooms anymore. You used to pay for a room, you now pay for a bloody just a bed. So you're in this bed for 50 euros a night or whatever. And there's 4 other people in there. And on that last night, there's this lady. I should have recorded it, but I have never experienced snoring like it. And I really apologise if you hear me one day, lady. I didn't see you or anything. We got curtains and stuff, but that did disturb my sleep, and I certainly couldn't practice the next day. And off I went into that city to get lost. So I love to have my life together, and I don't. I feel so challenged in that. And yet there's a part of me that just walks through it endlessly. And that's the part of me that aligns. That's the part of me that has that courage. and that certainty. And that's the part that I want to share. Because if I go off moaning about the world, how's it looking, guys? It's not looking great. The plant's afoot, which in a sense it gives me a kick up the arse. It's like, well, wars have always happened. There's always been war. And many would say there will always be war. I guess on levels there will, within people, within groups, within this, within the other. But if we were truly to evolve, then our systems, our societies, they would evolve past that point. That there would not be these orchestrated, planned over decades wars again and again and again. In perpetua, forever. That's what the trickster wants you to think. I'm a children's champion. There's more children than ever. And there's more darkness than ever. I don't give a shit. I still live in this beautiful, impossible dream that we are evolving. That we will show that. Show who? Who do we need to show? First, we need to show ourselves. That energy change within us must happen. And then, who else would you show? I'd say it's incumbent upon us to show the infinite that we are capable of achieving that pattern of peace within us as an individual. And I reckon that the infinite in this universe, it would love that. It would be like tears of joy to see that in us. And that, in the end, is our mission. If you choose to accept it. The mission impossible. That we hold within each and every one of us that seed, capable of experiencing the infinite. And that the experiencing of that infinite, not once, as a truth, as a engagement, as an alignment, as a genuine love and acceptance of something so large within ourselves that will show the shadows, that the light inevitably shows shadows. And I'd say no one is without shadow. You know, I said about that, what happens when you put two mirrors in front of each other? And it came to me later. It's like, well, I'll show you yours, and you will show me mine. It is confronting. You would be confronted. But I'd say there's no greater mountain to climb. There's no greater endeavor than experiencing in this life what we truly, our true selves. In that you gotta be so a sense on the ball about that, because if you're someone else telling you who your true self is, it's essentially not your true self. So I would always endeavour to do the same as my teacher did. It was that it's in you. And at times that might be a bit like feeling left alone and sorted out yourself and all of that business. But that is an integral part, isn't it? An integral part of awakening. That there's a energy moving through us, through this earth, through this universe, that is attempting to awaken us like never before. Not a new dream, but one very perfectly timed with this time. The capability of us, of our consciousness, of our ability to interact in ways unseen. There's never been more conducive for more than ever to glimpse and to understand something. So everyone in just wanted to have a little chat to kind of begin again. And I got some ideas, and hopefully I'll follow them through. You know, I'm very aware of kind of not wanting to build some, well, certainly not a flamboyant platform. That I want to, and all along I've felt very strongly about keeping this very simple, interpersonal, intimate, like a little journey a person can take if they wish. That does offer something, not just words. There is a true experience behind what I talk about. And that I am endeavouring to come clear about my role in, you know. I want to serve. I want to be a part of this magic every single beeping day. And for that time I so enjoyed doing these, and it felt a flow, but I get no feedback. I mean, just searching for that alignment. And I will continue to, and I pray today is that little other step. A little another step for me that will help me just feel back in that loop somehow. Like I'm doing my part. That I've professed I have a part. I am certain I do. But if I don't play it, could it go by me? Could I miss an opportunity? Again, I've missed so many. How patient is this infinite? Well, that gives me hope, courage, and urgency. That I feel it is the time to me to step into what I have always felt a part of. And that is that pattern of peace. So remember that, everyone, as you file out. Because now it's everyone out. And while birding, right? Oh my goodness. What I've learned. I've learned a lot over the years about our, as it talked of, energetic interaction, experiences with you. They're more, they are at the fundamental part. That it has to happen in that realm before it could ever possibly happen in this realm. And over these years, these little, oh my goodness, memories, gifts, seeds of being with you. And this growing closeness that has blown me away and kept me going in the simplest of ways. And that just even, just like, oh, I was with you, that would be enough, regardless of what happened or anything. But then, of course, it's wonderful to feel closer and closer. And the timing of those experiences was so clear and so confirmed what I've known all these years. That it's that alignment. When I'm in that alignment, I'm more aligned with you. I've known that all along and felt very inadequate at times, and someone did have a chat with me. Like I'd ask, say, how should I go about this? And the words that stood out at the end of the experience was pure and neutral. It was like, thought back to some of the things I've said. Oh dear, might already be in a bit of trouble then. Again, this part of me comes out and goes, no, pure neutral. That stopped me for a bit, and I went, oh, I really hope that that's an essential aim. Because if pure and neutral is a prerequisite, this might be a much longer path than I was hoping for. But even so, I am committed. And thank you for that little pointer in a way that makes sense. It makes perfect sense in the long run. And it's funny, these experiences, sometimes I have to watch it, bring in my, like the interpretation very much in this world you have of your interactions. When it's not a worldly interaction, there's been a danger for me to interpret that. Well, then it can either crush you or lift you. And I have to maintain a kind of steadiness. This steadiness that has kept me going, and I pray that I share with you. And I want to thank you for the calls over these months. My goodness, how many times have we been together? And how beautifully have you helped me? Or your higher self? I need a chat still here. But at least we're chatting. And I knew I needed that today. I knew I'd known it for a while, and I'm just on this treadmill, it seems, of well, not going very far, but within me there is motion. Just days, breakthroughs within me that blow me away. And then a strange kind of disconnect. And I'm like, well, of course it's you and all that. But then I've also noticed another pattern. That if I don't reach for that blanket, for that blanket of love, for that pattern of peace, if I don't make my effort, there's an odd pulling away or calming, not just for you, but with my experience almost, but with you as well. You seem to step back and reassess a bit, or follow me, stay out of sight, and I just guess I better leave you with pretty soon. When I asked you, you got my back. I know you have. I can still feel it. And I want to say that gives me an awful lot of courage and hope in the kind of whole multi-dimensional realm of business. So thank you. Still, I obviously really look forward to seeing you again and feeling that alignment once again with you. Of course, it's become important to me, but I'm also learning the unconditional nature of it all, so I hope that helps in some cosmic way to balance this energy exchange. And to be honest with you, here I am. I'm not. Thank you. What else can I say? That as I move forward, I pray for doors to open. I know the direction that I must go. The perceived lack and limitation, you teach me to rise above it. Yeah, I still experience this difficulty, the problems. And yet I know this. When I do this, when I express once more this and make another step in this journey beyond all understanding, when I do commit, when I do say, well, I do have the focus to do that, I pray that brings me closer to sharing it, to being with the people that align with me. Of course I dream of that. Who wouldn't? And yet with that essential simplicity and that acceptance of a peace that visits me, that I am pulled to, that I find myself in. And understanding. And I want to learn to share that understanding. And I know that me and you, wild bird, are involved in that exact same service. And so I ain't letting go. So loads of love to wild bird. Loads of love to my teacher. And everyone. I say thank you. Thank you.